Hey folks, it's Woody here over at USA Made Blade and coming to you from the shop tonight to talk to you about the Southern Grind Quill. Based on feedback we've gotten from past videos we've done, I had no intention of showing my face in this video, but several factors happened to where I feel like I absolutely had to just talk to you guys for a minute. So in preparation for doing this video, I kind of had some ideas in my head of the things that I wanted to say, and try and show you guys the knife while I'm running my mouth here, and just couldn't quite put it into words. Trying to express how I feel about this knife and how great it is. So I took the time and went on YouTube to see videos about it and things like that, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. On the first search page of YouTube, I found like 2 videos. And this knife came out at Blade Show 2018. To give you a little background, and the reason I wanted to talk to you guys first before we go to the comparison stuff, is our booth is about 30 feet away from the Southern Grind booth. They're in the far back left corner, and we're about 30 feet away from them. And their booth was just packed as hell. We figured Zach Brown was over there all weekend. And what it turns out, we quickly learned, was that everybody was over there checking out the Southern Grind Quill. And people were coming to us like, hey, have you seen it? Can we see one? Blah, blah, blah. Well, we're good friends with the guys at Southern Grind. We ended up going over there and taking a bunch and selling them for them at our booth because the line was so damn long at their booth. Everybody fell in love with this. And I was actually very surprised that it wasn't like Blade Show Knife of the Year, because it's really, really different and really, really cool. And the description we've said for months now on social media is that it's a modern take on the gentleman's folder. It's a frame lock, full tie flipper that's got just a great design to it, unbelievable action on it. It's just cool. And we've mentioned this in other videos, and one of the main videos we mentioned it in is it's one of our top sellers in store, and it sells really well in store because when people come in and put their hands on it, they're like, damn, that is awesome. And that's what was happening at Blade Show. So anyway, give you some quick specs on the knife, and we'll move over to giving you guys some comparisons on it. 3-inch overall edge, or 3-inch cutting edge on it, I'm sorry. Overall length is just slightly over 7 inches. Closed length, we're sitting just over 4 inches, 0.12 inches thick, only weighing in at full tie frame lock at 1.7 ounces, and it does run on bearings. So the steel on this is 14C28. That's probably the only thing that we've heard people saying anything negative about. And at a $200 and just under $270 price range, we understand that. But go back and look through the history with things that we've said about Southern Grind using 14C28 steel. They crush it. I don't know what the hell they do, but the last thing I'll tell you is that, you know, we're a small shop, so taking knives out of inventory to carry and use every day, it gets a little tight on the budget. So Kevin, who works with us, ended up taking one first, and he had it over the Christmas holidays. And he had it for a while, beat the hell out of it, used it in his kitchen, used it on boxes all around Christmas, and used it on boxes here at the store, and handed it off to me to use for New Year's Eve and moving past that. And when he handed it to me, it's like, man, I've really used the hell out of this thing. It's done great, but you're probably going to want to touch the edge up. So I tested the edge on it. It was still sharp as hell. So I went and used it, cutting up and breaking down boxes in the store, getting our Christmas stuff put away and everything else. And at the end of it, I just hit it a little bit on a strop, and it was still just wicked, wicked sharp. So Southern Grind does a fantastic job with their 14C28. Don't let this knife scare you off because of that steel, because that would be a big mistake. So anyway, let's move over, and I'll show you guys some comparison shots with other knives and give you an idea of just how unique this knife is. All right, so we're back, and just gonna show you guys the knife again real quick. So you got a little quill here on the pivot nut, and good looking bred aluminum back spacers on it. As I said, it's a frame lock. So let's jump in. Let's start off by comparing this to some other Southern Grind knives. And you know what? We just finished talking to you about the steel on this knife. So let's show off a Bad Monkey. And this is the same Sandvik 14C28 steel. And as you can see, Bad Monkey's a big beast of a knife. Guys, we've had no complaints. Nobody's complained to us about the steel on that knife when they've purchased it. Next up, got to throw in a Spider Monkey. Overall, about the same length. This happens to be our exclusive Jade Ghost Spider Monkey. Color on that's not showing up very well. There you go. So overall, pretty much the same length. But as you can tell, and you're going to see through most of these comparison shots, it's just not the same knife. It's just, there's not much out there to really compare this to. But sticking with kind of Southern Grind, we're going to throw in the Case Southern Grind collaboration here. This is the CG01, and these just recently came out, so I thought we'd throw one in. And then last, I got to throw in Southern Grind's other full tie frame lock, which is the Penguin. And we've said this before, probably the most under talked about frame lock tie knife out there. And with this one, they did it on making the width here a lot more narrow, and on the Penguin, especially for a knife its size, they did a great job of thinning this down really well for the full tie and still making it really comfortable in the hand. So next up, this is the DPX Hest tie folder, Hest tie Urban folder. And this knife is also made by Southern Grind, excuse me. And they did a great job with it. Very compact knife, but overbuilt. I mean, just a tank of a knife. So definitely different, but thought we'd throw it in there. Was trying to think of the right knife to show you guys from Benchmade. And the Benchmade Nakamura is just what came to mind. It's right in that same price range. It's a good knife to show you the overall size of the knife. And it just seemed to fit. And also, I think I just said that, right in that price range. So next, we always like to show off some of our Hinders. We're a big Hinder dealer as well. And here's the Hinder XM18 3-inch. And I'm throwing it in there just to show you the overall length. Thickness, obviously, you're a whole lot thicker on that Hinder. So speaking of Hinder, I got to bring in our exclusive half track. This is a half track Spanto. As you guys know, we're half track crazy here. And, you know, I think one of the reasons I wanted to throw this in is because I've seen multiple reviews on the half track and people are like, I love it. Not really sure why, but I love this knife. And I get that because we feel the same way. And we feel the same way about the half track that we do about the Quill. It's just, they're just very different, very well done knives. So the last two knives that I have to compare it to are the closest thing we could really find in our shop to compare this knife to. And the first one's the Spartan Blades Metis, and it's a flipper, it's full tie. It's the closest thing to getting in on that width and making it a more sleek, more carry in a lot of different spots type of knife. And just felt like we had to throw it in. It's also about the same thickness, everything else, but anyway, had to throw in the Spartan Blades Metis there. And then lastly, probably the best guess we can give you as far as showing you something is the ZTO 450. ZTO 450 sleek. It's got a great design to it. It's just not the same as the gentleman's style with the Southern Grind Quill, but it gives you a really good idea. ZTO 450 is a very popular knife, so hopefully quite a few of you out there can get a good idea with this. Also, they have the red backspacers as well. As you can see, width on the handles about the same, so pretty darn close. And then not a knife, but we've, in the one of two YouTube videos that we saw about this knife, somebody was saying, It's as easy to put in your pocket as a pen. Now granted, this is the Hinder Extreme Duty pen, but they weren't kidding. I mean, if you look at that, they're gonna ride in the pocket pretty darn easily the same. So it just makes that knife just so much different than anything we've seen. So to finish off, we've done some anodizing on these. I've got to at least throw one in to show you. This is our bronze Ghost Damascus anodizing. Looks really good on this. Classes it up a little bit more, especially if you're planning to carry it to work or church or somewhere like that. More of a casual, business casual type carry. So we've got some others that we've done as well. We've done some blue, and we're going to be adding some more as well. So I hope you'll keep an eye out for that. But anyway, guys, this is the Southern Grind Quill. It's a fantastic knife. We hope you'll check them out. They're available on our site at usamadeblade.com. And as always, thank you for watching.